As you're starting off with IES, you're very likely going to encounter errors in the beginning. Here's a list of common errors I've encountered, and we'll go over the solution for each of them. Let's start with the surface boundary error. This error occurs when you try and place a diffuser or opening when your room has an exported boundary. To add diffusers or openings, you need to first clear any imported boundaries. And once you're done adding your elements, you must rerun Apache, export your new boundary condition from VistaPro, and import the new boundary back into the space. It's also important to generate a new mesh before running the simulation. Now the next error is a bit more complicated. If your simulation ends up breaking, or in some cases causes your system to crash, there may be multiple causes. The most common error I find is having intersecting objects in the model. So what we want to do is carefully go through our components and make sure none of them are going through walls or any other surfaces. You can see here we have a component go through a floor and the other is intersecting with the wall. So if we go ahead and move them apart, we can now try and rerun our simulation. The next error is fairly straightforward. If you receive an unbalanced flow error, it simply means that your supply and return aren't matching. To run the CFD simulation, the flow balance must be 0. So, we'll need to readjust either our supply or exhaust flows. The only other option is by using the pressure surface type, as it automatically balances the space flows. If you end up getting a CFD statistics error like this one, it's IES's way of telling you your system's hardware isn't capable of meeting the demand of the simulation. Now that doesn't necessarily mean your hardware is the problem, but it's more likely that your mesh has too many points for your system to compute. This is a common side effect of having a very large space with a fine mesh. We can try and fix that by making our mesh larger, while trying to maintain a 10:1 maximum cell aspect ratio or lower. Another thing to note is that one of IES's biggest limitations is that it struggles with large spaces, which is why it's advisable to do one room per IES file. But even then, your space can be too big. If you're trying to analyze the airflow through a garage or a multi-story atrium, for example, you're more likely to encounter that error. If you're starting off your IES project and you think your space might be too big, then start by drawing a very rough geometry, go straight to generating your mesh, and review the CFD statistics to make sure that it can work before putting in time into your project. The last error is when you're starting off and you want to edit, let's say, this door, and you see that all your editing tools are turned off. What we want to do here is we want to either double click the wall or click on it once and go down a level. Now we're in surface editing mode. So if we click on our door, we can now see our editing tools available.